Hi, Sugar Gliders. Welcome to Chapter 1, Lesson 2, Ratios. So we've done a lot of investigating with ratios. So let's take a look at how we work with ratios. Let's take a look at the picture. How many oranges are pictured? You can count them. There are 3. How many bananas are pictured? If you count them, there are 9. So we've just compared 2 different quantities. So a ratio is a comparison of 2 quantities by division. All right, let's look at the variety of ways in which we can compare these oranges and bananas. The ratio of oranges to bananas we can say is 3 to 9. The ratio of bananas to oranges is a little bit different. You start with the bananas, so it's 9 to 3. The ratio of oranges to total fruit, there are 3 oranges, and if we count all the fruit, there's 12 pieces, so that ratio would be 3 to 12. And the ratio of total fruit to bananas is 12 to 9 because there's 12 total pieces and 9 bananas. So you can see that it is very important that you be careful of the order. So be aware of the order in which you are writing your ratio. All right, a ratio can be written 3 different ways. In words, we can see our first example is 3 to 9. You just spell out the word 2. With a colon, we would write a 3 colon 9 and say it 3 to 9. And then as a fraction, 3 over 9, again, it's not a fraction, and we would call it 3 to 9, not 3/9. Because remember, fractions are part of a whole thing, and ratios are 2 different quantities. So as with fractions, ratios are often expressed in simplest form. So here's a little mini lesson on simplest form. And we practiced this, so this is just a real quick review. 1/2 is in simplest form. 2/4 is not in simplest form. So how do you know when a fraction is in simplest form? Well, this statement will clarify that. A fraction is in simplest form when the GCF, the greatest common factor, of the numerator and denominator is 1. So if we look at 2/4, we can still divide 2 by 2 and 4 by 2. So the greatest common factor of 2 and 4 is actually 2. So when I divide it, now the greatest common factor of 1 and 2 is 1. So that's how I know I'm done. So to write a fraction in simplest form, what do? We divide the numerator and the denominator by their GCF. So here's our example. What is the GCF of 12 and 15? 12 is our numerator, 15 is our denominator. The GCF is, I believe it's 3 because 3 goes into both 12 and 15, and that's the biggest factor that fits into both. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So in simplest form, 12/15 equals 4/5. Okay, so write a ratio in simplest form. Write a ratio in simplest form that compares the number of 2 red paper clips to the number of 6 blue paper clips, then explain its meaning. So when we write ratios, remember we're comparing 2 different things. So we have 2 red paper clips compared to 6 blue. We can treat it like a fraction. The GCF of 2 and 6 is 2. That's the biggest factor that goes into both. So if I divide both of these by 2, I get 1 to 3. So the ratio of red paper clips to blue paper clips is, we can say it as a fraction, 1 to 3, in words 1 to 3, or a colon 1 to 3. This means that for every 1 paper clip or 1 red paper clip, there are 3 blue paper clips. And if I go back to grouping, this would be group 1 and this would be group 2. So in this group you can see for every 1 red there are 3 blue, and in this group for every 1 red there are 3 blue. All right, got it? Do this problem to find out. Go ahead, try this one on your own, and we'll talk about it when you get back. And then we have one last part. Using ratios to explore categorical data. The word categorical simply means that ratios have been assigned to categories, and data is information. So categorical data means data is compared in a table using ratios. So let's take a look at this word problem. Several students named their favorite flavor of gum. Write the ratio that compares the number who chose fruit to the total number of students. So we're comparing fruit flavored to the total. Those are the two things that are being compared. So in our chart, we can see favorite flavor of gum. We have the flavor. We have the number of responses. I need to find the fruit, which is 3. So that's my first number in our ratio. Total responses, I have to add 9 plus 8 plus 3 plus 1. And that gives us 21. So that's our total. So we need to simplify by dividing by 3. So the ratio is, in a fraction form, 1 to 7. In word form, 1 to 7, or colon 1 to 7. This means that 1 out of every 7 students preferred fruit-flavored gum. Why don't you go ahead and try this next example about yogurt? And when you're done, go ahead and try the Got It problems. Listen to directions in class. These directions might change, but go ahead and give these a try as well. Have a great night.